Hello, this is the second battle between me and...
Me?
me is Maximus, and the other me is...
The Prussian Prince.
Alright, we are playing Majutsu and Vim of the Round Table Knights clan. Um, do you want to share your thoughts on this army that that we have here?
Okay, so I'm going to go over my army, even though I don't really like it because it's not really good.
It's better than mine.
Have a Gothic general with the brace. So far, so good, right?
Yep, starts good.
Six Gothic warband. Looks good so far. Now here's the interesting part. Okay, I have... Let's see, I also have 2 noble Germanic horsemen, I believe. Yes, I do. That's decent. And here is like the what the hell moment.
Yep.
4 Germanic lancers and 4 noble Gothic lancers. That is pure insanity. Because those units are so bad that nobody ever brings them except us.
And the reason why we have brought them is because we have to. We absolutely have to under the rules. You can only bring a maximum of 4 of the same cavalry type per team. And since we are geniuses and picked double Germanics before knowing about the rules, that means that we can only bring 4 heavy cavalry units.
I think we picked the factions when the rule, where it wasn't that rule, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
And we had time to change as well.
We absolutely did. We just didn't.
Yeah.
And then the patch came, which of course made the Germanic horsemen useless. That was another...
Yeah.
Another problem. So yeah, the problem with the reason why those you can just by the stats. I'm a fan of the Germanic Lancers just because they are so cheap. I'm not a fan of the Noble Gothic Lancers. They have mid-tier stats, an almost elite price, and they are only medium, so they die to everything and anything. No bonus against large either, so they are terrible units. And the first battle, I believe we lacked infantry a bit.
I think that's the case, yeah.
So we just decided to go pure rush, no skirmish. I have 6 scaled clubs, 6 Langobard clubs, 3 horse slayers, and 4 Germanic, two noble Germanics and 2 Germanic horsemen. And the reason why we're deployed like this, all the way over on the flank, was because we were going to try to rush one of their flanks. Then they deploy a bit back and to the opposite side of where we deployed. Yeah. So we just kind of painted ourselves into a corner. So should we press play?
Let's look at their builds first.
Oh yeah, sure.
So for the Franks, that is, I believe the Franks are Vim. Yeah, Vim's playing as the Franks in this game. But another interesting thing they did is that they switched their factions from first game to their second game. I mean, they switched who plays which faction.
Yeah.
Fairly interesting.
And the reason why I asked the Prussian Prince to command the cavalry, because since I haven't played the game in a long time, I know my micro is bad, and if I control the cavalry, things are going to end horribly for us. So the idea was that I control the infantry, and it's easier for me than to control the cavalry.
The thing is, in this matchup, like, we're up against really good players who also have like much better factions than us. So it's like an uphill struggle, like really uphill.
Absolutely.
Struggle. So again, the Franks, we see the Gold 3 Frankish general, interesting choice, with brace. We have 2 Cara Francisca on each flank, and 2 Answitronus cavalry guard on each flank as well. 2 Frankish lancers on the left flank. Those are the only medium cavalry units that they have. Everything else is pretty much heavy, and I believe some of the Cara Francisca have bronze 1. 2. Okay, 2 of them have bronze 1. And let's see, is that the whole build of the Franks? Just the massive cavalry, or did he bring anything else? Okay, he brought up front 4 Germanic pikes and
Some
Two
Germanic,
Germanic
archers.
archers.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Germanic archers. And that is it for the Franks.
And for the Langobards, we have 2 horse slayers on each flank. Then we have a solid center of scaled clubs, 6 scaled clubs, the redoubtable chieftain general, a few Germanic archer units, and they have a nice combination of sturdy, strong infantry, pikes, low-range archers, support for the cavalry. In my opinion, though, I think they talked about not changing the factions either. It makes sense because this isn't the best infantry support that they could have for their shock cavalry. There are some factions that could give them a lot of trouble. But still, the build is... They win the cavalry fight. They have 12 heavy cavalry units. So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far.
Yeah, so it's... I don't know what we think we're going to do here, but let's see.
Well, came up with the plan in the beginning to just rush their right, and we're gonna stick to it, and YOLO. We'll see.
So I'm pressing space now, and you can see our orders. The Prussian prince. Did your formation mess up or something?
Yeah, when I pressed up with the up arrow key just to move my formation up, it completely destroyed the formation.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Okay, so do we resume?
Yep, 3, 2, 1, and play.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just brushing up here, almost to their front, and the idea here is to use the cheap Langobard clubs to beat through the pikes, get at the archers behind, and have the stronger units rush the flank here.
Yeah, and ideally I want to get a charge off onto those horse slayers as well.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can manage to do that, but
they make a smart move here. They rotate away from us and just present the pikes up front.
And that's really good, because now our cav in the center can't push.
Yeah.
I believe they got some shots off onto your Germanic
Yeah,
horse.
they did. They didn't kill anything, but the hit point damage was done that day.
Killed 6 men, actually.
Oh, they did?
In 1 unit. Yeah.
Shit, and those were noble Germanics, so that was very nice. They had a crossbow there as well. I don't know whether it killed anything, but
yeah,
it's going to.
Here comes the engagement.
There we go. You're going to get into the horse slayers, aren't you?
Yeah, and I am responding.
Oh, they knocked down their own horse slayers, and then you actually managed to hit both units because they stopped their own charge.
Now I
wow.
get the horse slayers.
Then you move into the flanks, then you get hit in the flanks.
And I get the scale club and with Lancer.
Wrecking some scale clubs here. And I'm not even there yet, so your attack here is not a bad one. Unfortunately, you didn't manage to kill the horse slayers. 92 left, 86 left.
Yeah. They took a lot of damage, but now I have a lot of cap on the left, but how am I going to break through those units?
And here I got the charge with my Noble Germanics against the Anstrutiones cavalry guard. Then I get the horse slayers into the flanks here. So this is a decent enough engagement because this shock cav unit did not get a charge. But here you'll see the point. If you look at our right flank now, at this point my micro starts to slip because here we have 2 units that were supposed to go in like this, and then I just forget about them. Instead of giving attack orders, I'm just moving them like this.
Yeah, and you should go put them in diamond.
Yeah.
Go for their shock cap.
But I'm not even going to get a charge here because I mess up. So this, in my opinion, is where we kind of lose the game because these 2 cavalry units, so important.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, if we pulled them away and they kept chasing, that would be a very cost-effective trade for us.
Absolutely.
Gonna
Get them closer to the horse slayers, but because I'm winning here and I'm winning here, I win both of these engagements. The pikes are going down, and the clubs over here, we're not doing a terrible job actually. We are pouring in. The problem is your cavalry units are just not good enough.
Yeah, but the thing is, we didn't get our infantry charged, whereas we got their horse charged. So now the Gothic warbands are going to pour in, and they don't have infantry support on our left.
So overall, over here my Noble Germanic horsemen won, then they're going to get charged themselves, but overall, the engagements weren't horrible actually. I'm actually going to go as far as saying that we got the better engagements overall. On this flank, at least.
Yeah, and on my left, you can see the Anstrucciones cavalry guard surrounded by Germanic lancers and Gothic warband. Taking some time to kill, but they're going to end up dying.
Getting horse slayers here into the fight with noble Germanics and the Frankish general. So he's losing men. The pikes are broken. So now they're bunching up their skirmishers to a significant degree.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
But we still don't have any free cavalry to get in and deal with that, unfortunately.
Oh, you charged with the Langobard clubmen against the scaled clubmen that was in shield wall.
Yeah, that was to just try and stop them for a bit. These Langobards have already done their job. I don't want these clubs to go and protect skirmishers.
And yeah, I make a mistake on the left. I get one of my noble Germanics charged by one of theirs, and they send up pike support. I also use a lot of flaming shots on my Gothic general. You can see that
he's taking damage. Wow.
But we are breaking through fairly easily from the left, I want to say. But those heavy shock cavalries, they hold out so long even against
the armor and the health is just too insane for us to deal with. And here I'm getting a charge with the noble Germanics, but they're pulling out of the engagement with the Frankish general, so he's losing decisively here. But all of these units, I just have some Germanic horse, a noble Germanic horse here. So I'm not able to, unfortunately not able to clean up this fight, but it was a fairly close fight.
The men have broken and are fleeing.
And on the left I got Gothic warbands in the rear of their cavalry. So
very nice. And you're actually breaking a lot of the enemy cavalry here. You're breaking Anstrucciones, you're breaking Skara. They're running away, and that was pure rear charge, so that was a very good move.
That horse layer is gonna die. The Germanic Lancer charge, one way the Germanic Lancers are useful.
Yep.
Now the next unit's going to die. They're actually gonna sacrifice this noble Germanic horseman.
At this point, I thought, to be honest, at this point I thought we had it. Because look at all the units that are breaking through here.
Yeah.
And you have a free unit here.
Though I do charge one of my horsemen, and I do rough the pike unit as well, kind of like in the center.
Yeah, their entire center is just disappearing.
Yeah. They have a lot of skirmishers, and that's the problem for us right now.
We don't have the cavalry to deal with that.
Yeah, we're focusing our cav, and our cavalry has taken a lot of damage so far.
Yeah, their cavalry is dying, but we just don't have the skirmishing. And even I mean, the build that especially I bought was just sort of the result of being frustrated with knowing that our army was fucked. It's not a smart build.
At this point, like, I make some mistakes with my cavalry, like I get them shot, and my general as well. It's either he gets shot again and loses more men, but we just mopped up the left really well.
Look at all the units that are left. It's quite insane how many. Like, at this point in the battle, we have 1900 men and they have 1500. But so many cavalry units just mopping up.
Yeah, a lot of those units are in skirmishers.
Yeah.
So.
And the scaled clubmen, of course, do not support cavalry fights at all.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, one of the main mistakes in terms of the army that I brought was, if I had been able to support your cavalry fights better, that would have been massive, I think.
Yeah, some Godensmen.
yeah, absolutely.
You see, I still have some cavalry left, but I'm keeping them. Right now, I'm keeping them in the back so that they don't get shot. But
but you can't really move close. You just have Germanic Lancers, and they're not going to work.
And here it comes. They just fire at my Gothic general. They get in range, and the general dies. Like 20 men left.
Yeah.
And
that's just bad luck.
I pull him back, but he routes, and at that point he was dead anyway. So
yeah.
It was another cavalry unit though, so it still stayed alive. Maybe could have done something.
At this
Even
point,
so,
yeah, at this point,
it's still not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. But the thing is, though, all of the scale they have so many scaled clubs here, and Gothic warband into scaled clubs that just dies.
Yeah.
Especially shield wall.
with that Germanic Lancer, though I killed a lot of that Frankish general, as you can see over
Yeah.
there. Worth it though is the question.
Yeah, well, it would have probably gotten shot because you were so close anyway. So
Yes.
charging it in is, I think it's a good idea.
It was
Because
not
23 men remaining, you could have killed the general at that point. It's a gamble
not
worth
lucky.
taking, I think.
Mine died at like 20. and-
Yeah, it happens. So it was a gamble. It didn't pay off, but it could have.
At this point, they're just going to kite, and we have one more cavalry unit left, which they're probably gonna try and get rid of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some rear charges onto these scout clubmen with Germanic horsemen to stop them from running.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I keep like faking the charge.
I'm trying to support you here with scaled clubs as well. Get the charge and don't allow them the time to form up in shield wall, essentially.
But Gothic warband routed off the field though, with like 58 men, and
Yeah.
it's part of the reason why he routed, the fact that the general is gone.
And here we have the thing I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to shut off the cavalry, because I'm not going to be able to kill the cavalry with clubs. It doesn't do enough damage, but if these Skara try to pull out, I was hoping they were going to try to pull out, and they actually tried to pull out, and that is going to give me the bonus I need to start doing damage to the Skara.
The thing is, apparently the maths behind scaled clubmen against heavy shock cavalry is you need 250 hits with the scaled clubmen to kill a heavy cavalry unit,
Yeah, it
supposedly.
just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why the Langobards are at a slight disadvantage with their clubmen against cavalry factions, because the clubmen are infantry killing specialists, but they are not as good as the Danax units, and they are horrible against cavalry compared to the Danax units.
Yeah.
So they basically kill the units that you need to worry about the least.
Yeah, and that Skara Francisca is still alive and just being a huge pain right
Yeah.
now.
Got a nice charge here against the scale clubs, sending in my general, but then the Skara is going to rear charge my general. They still have this one cavalry unit left, moving around the flanks with some scale clubs.
And right now on our right we have some clubmen, but unfortunately they are not in shield wall, whereas theirs are, so we're going to end up losing that engagement as well.
I thought I had them out of shield wall, but shield wall can be activated quite quickly, so it's easy to
The
lose
men are wavering.
sight of what's going on here. But we still have, I mean,
Our men have given up.
there
and
my
are running
general
for their
dies.
lives.
But the only unit left that has ammunition is
Our
that
ally
Germanic
flees the
crossbow.
field. Ill news
Your general
indeed.
died with about 60 men too, so
Yeah,
again,
it's bad luck basically.
Yeah.
Just bad luck.
Their general is down to 23 and sadly not dead.
And now again they're pulling out the general, and he's winning decisively, but he still lost a few men. And so their general could have died at this point as well. But the redoubtable chieftain is of course alive and well.
Their redoubtable chieftain though.
Yeah. So yeah, not being able to take care of this Germanic crossbow turned out to be huge in the late game.
Yeah,
The
and
enemy
their cavalry
general
too,
is
because
dead.
with late game cavalry clubmen
Yeah.
against
Just bringing 13 clubmen was just a horrible idea. Should never have done that. Because if you look at what they have left now, this is something we could have dealt with if we had a composition that was a bit smarter.
The men have thrown
like there
down
was
their
no
weapons and
reason
are
to
fleeing.
bring all those clubmen
No,
because
absolutely none.
they're probably gonna go super heavy on the cav, which they
Yep.
did, and like we're gonna win the infantry engagement. So
Yeah. And that's what ended up happening. We actually broke through the center, broke through the flanks, and then they can just kite and pick us apart with their cavalry. But it is so close that if we had a cavalry unit or two left, then this could have been doable, could have been possible.
yeah, if I didn't lose my general or
Yeah.
something like that.
Those few instances where you got your cavalry charged, where I lost 2 Germanic horsemen unnecessarily because I was too slow, And looking at something else, that those specific moments were enough to lose this battle, I think.
Yeah.
Because those cavalry units were about to make it, were about to move and get at the skirmish blob, and one cavalry unit in that skirmish blob, and they don't have any skirmish support in the late game.
Yeah.
Our men flee the
Like, what
field
we
of
could have
battle.
done with our
This
cav
is a
is kept them
shameful
in reserve
display.
after the main fight.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then, use it later
Absolutely.
instead of just getting it shot.
Yeah, that could have been a very good idea. Just use it to stop enemy cav. And here we have the Frankish general alive at 14 men.
I think he's actually dead.
Okay.
I think he died at some point.
It doesn't
Yeah,
say...
dead.
No, the general... Well...
If you look at
Yeah,
the
the Frankish general is dead. It's the Langobard general that's alive.
Yeah. We only lost 3 men. Langobard general.
Yeah.
At this point, it's over. We just have 2 scaled clubmen left. One's about
Our
to
men
die.
have given
All
up
the
and are
cavalry.
running for their
They even
lives.
use brace at this
Our
point.
men are
Yeah.
wavering.
Extra charge.
But, yeah. Valiant defeat there. And the funny thing is, the clubmen weren't the worst units of the bunch, actually. The Langobard clubs got some kills.
Yeah.
More kills than the Germanic horse.
Yeah. Wow. Look at some of the Gothic warband.
Yep, Gothic Warband
A lot
are
of kills.
such a nice unit. But if you look at their cavalry, you have, I mean, okay, you have Anstrutiones Cavalry Guard. You have 3 Anstrutiones that combined get 59 kills. Then you have Skara that get 23, 14. But then you have the units that win the game. You have Anstrutiones that get 262, and Skara that gets 361.
It's hard to make all of them ineffective.
Yeah. And for the Langobards, the crossbows, of course, they were MLG, and the Germanic archers were MLG.
And their clubs.
Yeah, their clubs were pretty good. Some of the horse
Killed our
slayers as well.
clubs. Yeah, horse slayers did surprisingly well considering they got charged.
Yeah.
Both of them, I believe.
I think what happened was that since he moved his shock cavalry through his own unit, then they stopped some of the horse slayers from getting hit, because they had something like 90 men remaining after you charged them, and losing 30 men on the charge unbraced, that's something that just doesn't happen.
And pulling back, I think. They got a rear charge. Maybe you can't. Can you kill units that are knocked on the ground?
I think you can still. I think they can still get attack penalties against them, but I'm not quite sure how that works, because if you knock units, you will knock units either back or forwards. So if you knock units, like he knocked the units forwards, which means that you would just ride over them instead of impacting them yourself. He might have saved them from impact damage, because I'm quite sure that units do not take impact damage when they are on the ground.
Saved his own unit by
by knocking it down. Get down! Boom!
MLG.
Yeah, but Majutsu and Wim, they had the better armies. They had 12. They had smarter armies, better armies, and of course 12 heavy cavalry can never be underestimated.
We did not play against our opponent's factions this game.
No, we didn't.
But it was still really close, all things considered.
I think it was, yeah. There were a few critical mistakes. Charging units into shield walled clubs, of course, and getting cavalry charged. But other than that, it wasn't as horrible as the horrible builds might suggest it would be. But like your Gothic warbands do a really, really good job here. It's just the cavalry that is so underperforming. If you compare the performance of the noble Gothic lancers with the performance of the Skara, for example, what's interesting is that on 3 of your Gothic Lancers get more kills than the Skara. But it's just that one Skara that does something that Gothic Lancers can never do. Stay alive until the late game and just wreck everything.
Yeah. Which is what happened here.
Yeah. But it was fun. And I think, well, at least I learned a bit more about 2v2 games through this game.
Yeah.
Because
Like
they are
I
different.
said, playing with weights.
Yep.
So then when we take off the weights, we'll be very strong.
Let's hope we will be.
Hopefully.
Yep. We'll see, because this battle was played, was it yesterday, or was it the day before?
2 days ago, maybe?
2 days ago, yeah, 2 days ago.
I think.
And then today we had 2 battles. 2 very good battles. Actually 3 battles, almost.
Yes.
If we
3
count.
battles.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll see if this practice serves us well in those battles later on.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for the game to Majutsu, Vim, and the Prussian Prince.
Thank you, and check out Maximus' channel at youtube.com/Maximus Norvegicus. Also will be in the description below.
Yeah, I'll put the link to the Prussian Princes. The Prussian Prince is youtube.com/the Prussian Prince, if I'm not
Who would
mistaken.
have thought? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? But yeah, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.
Strength and honor.